Well, oh, there you go. Well, hello. As you can see, the prop's not turning. Hold on a moment. I thought I'd do a startup vid as well. Hang on. That's better. We're off down to to Endstone today. And it's a bit chilly. So I thought I'd just start the video rather than at the end of the taxiway or when the engine's running. Let's just go through the start checks. So, well, the doors are secure, harness is on, there's nothing loose around. The parking brake is set. Throttle is down on idle. The choke has returned back to 0, which is cool. And putting the master on and the charger on, but we're not putting the ignition, the mags on just yet. Because what I like to do is turn it over without anything and just get the oil pressure indicated and fuel pressure indicated. Fuel is definitely on, and obviously the master on the battery is on. Go up, and just give a shout out. Now we got fuel pressure rising, oil pressure rising, and we can see that the starter indicator is indicating. So once the baby starts, then things I'm looking for is, I'm okay with oil pressure because obviously that's rising. So the one I want to make sure is the actual starter solenoid has disengaged. Clear plop. Bit of choke on this one. Master ignitions are on. Having a good look around. There's nobody here today. And we're fired. Starter light has gone out, indicating the starter has disengaged. Oil pressure's good, fuel pressure's good, volts are on, we're charging. So now I can start introducing a bit of power. And the power, first one is we've got power come through to various bits and bobs. And the transponder is now set to standby. And while the engine now is just doing its warm-up bit, I'll close the blooming window now. Excuse me. Ooh. And then go through the rest of the stuff that I tend to do while the thing's warming up. Obviously keeping an eye on stuff and usually keeping a listen. I don't usually put the headset on until I've actually got the thing running quite nice. So hang on, I'll just have a listen. I like to have a listen to the engine. And it sounds okay, it feels okay. I can't feel any abnormal sort of vibrations through the system. Although it's cold and there's no choke on at the moment. Pressure's, well, it's 1013 on the deck, which high pressure, or higher pressure needs a bit more choke and a bit more sort of fueling to get it to run right when it's cold. Lower pressure, then obviously it runs rich anyway, so you don't need a lot of choke. But as you can see, there's no choke. I've pulled my oil shutter device. I've got a shutter on the front of the oil cooler. Obviously I don't want any air coming through from the prop and keeping the oil cool, so to increase or decrease warm-up time. It's now closed, so that's one of the things. And then the next one is just set up all the navigation stuff. I've already PPR'd, I've already checked the NOTAMs. So just put a direct to, but I can't remember which one it is. It's Tango November, isn't it? Yeah. Aye. Gee. I've got a backup. This is my backup GPS. I actually got a map somewhere on board as well. Funny. The actual GPS is connected to the transponder. That's what squitters out my position to various establishments. Well, that's the GPS set, 51.2 miles. Just having another check, making sure everything's hunky-dory. CHDs are rising, coolant temperature's not, oil temperature's not moved, pressures are good, and yeah, just everything looks A-okay. The next one is Sky Demon, which is, it's already loaded in. But one thing that hasn't occurred just yet is that it hasn't connected to the phone. This one hasn't got a SIM card in. Unsuccessful. So what I tend to do before I actually get in here is connect it to the phone. It doesn't like connecting to the phone when it's already connected to the pilot wire for whatever reason. So, well. So I'll be taking off on runway 34, but because there's no horsey people here today at the Menage, I shall do a left turn around the windsock into wind. I mean, I can take off of 30, but do a 34 and then over the top, and then it's a straight run down. So I'll be looking to sort of vacate out of here via my 3-4 approach fix. And then I think it's just literally a straight run, but I'll put something on just to make sure that there's nothing flagged. That one, I don't know what that is. That's going to be helicopters or something like that, round some. I'll just click on it, restricted area, surface, and just go onto it, and it says it applies to helicopters. It's around to some prison or something like that. Don't want to be dropping drugs off to them. They've probably got too much anyway. I don't know why that one's come up, because this one here is for tomorrow. It's parachute jumping at Little Rislington. Let me just effective. Oh right, until the 21st. So it might be effective now. So well, I'll just keep away from that. And Endstone's using 2.2. Well, again, while the engine's still warming up, go onto my plate, and the guy said backtrack to and vacate at Bravo, which is basically that one there. So aircraft parking there. That's cool. So I know beforehand, before I get there, where I need to go, what I need to do. Things are starting to warm up, so I'll just press the, just check the ignition, the brake is on, and those are fine, and we check the idle, and because we're using 3.4, I'll actually start to do the taxi run. No higher than 2,500 RPM, while the oil is below oil temp is below 50 because it will do the old bypass of the filter. I'm just hoping that it will actually start to move. Oh, there you go, just take the flap off. So I've gone down the flaps in stages, so those are checking okay.
Entered runway 12.
And once we're off the incline of the apron, I'll check the brake. Brake's good. Trim set. First stage of flap set. Everything's hunky-dory. The only problem is if it's boggy up here, then I'll get stuck. But Pound traffic, Tango Romeo is backtracking runway 34, Pound. And that's just the call, making sure that there's nothing happening, nobody landing, nobody doing something silly. And whilst we're moving, I'm just checking that the compass is swinging in the correct way.
Runway 16.
In the things that are going the right way. We're actually at 50 now, so we can put a bit more power on. And get up there, it's actually quite slimy here. And because the wind's coming from around about 280, got forward, radio overhead, on top. It's about 280, so we're taking off on runway 34. So we get a little bit of rotor because just the way the land lies, just over there is higher. Got the trees over onto the east. So just as we get in the turn normally round the windsock, then we tend to get a bit of increased lift and so on.
Entered runway 34. Entered runway 34.
So the final things are to be checked at this point, at the holding point of runway 34. The heater's off. We've still got the shutter out. Starter's gone, which is cool. Oil pressure's good. Oil temperature's good. Coolant temperature's good. CHT's good. Volts are good. Double check with the volts on there. Fuel pressure's good. We've got nothing coming through on the old radio. Well, there's nothing visually coming this way. We have full free, and I've checked it twice. Checking it 3 times. Harnesses are good. We have sufficient fuel tanks and fuel, and everything stowed in the correct manner. The trim is set for takeoff. We have first stage of flap, and yeah, strobe is now on. Landing light is on.
Entered runway 34.
A lot of people do the old full power run holding on the brakes. I tend to not do that. I'll check the idle, and then the first thing that I'll be checking when I'm at full throttle is making sure that it is actually getting to full throttle on the takeoff line. And that's, gosh, there's lots of cowpats. Pound Greek traffic, Tango Romeo is lining up runway 34 for immediate departure. Be a left turnout, right on the farm. Pound Greek traffic, Tango Romeo is taking off runway 34. There we go. Let's just adjust that. And full power. Get the nose up. Give a dab of the brakes. Airspeed's good. This is where we get the, oh my gosh, bumpy. Woohoo!
Golf Bravo 5 getting base, 25.
The circuit's just keeping within the farm until we get sufficient height to clear up.
Bravo 5 to radio time.
And just passing my 3-4 approach fix, which is what I tend to use when I'm coming into land. It's basically the caravan site just below. And just setting off into the cruise, levelling off. So just checking everything, making sure everything's hunky-dory. Just monitoring the oil temperature, because as I say, the shutter's still closed. So that's the first thing I really check, just keep an eye on that. CHT's up to just under 100. Coolant temperature is just under 100, about 95. I've got a bit of a cover on the radiator. I haven't put a thermostat on this one, it needs a thermostat. Then the next thing I'll do is check on...
Wind 270, 5 knots. Visibility 10 kilometer or more, broken 2,200 feet, temperature plus 1, dew point plus 7, QNH 1024, acknowledge receipt of information kilo and advise
that's just setting 1024 for the QNH. And a lot of people say, why is it called QNH? I really don't know, but NH at the end of it, it's a Q code. The way I think of it is national height. It's basically above sea level. So it's, yeah, it's just height above sea level, that's all it is. So the other one you hear is QFE, field elevation. That's more of a, that's more of an understandable thing when it says field elevation. QFE, but NH, I'm not too sure why. I just call it national height, but I know it's sea level, above sea level. Oh, airborne, and cruising along, strobes off, landing lights off, checks are good. We're at 2,100 feet on the QNH, above sea level. And I don't like staying at 2,000 feet because all the GA pilots cruise along at 2,000 feet, so normally I'm at around about 1,500 feet, but there's nothing about at the moment. Okay, catch you later. Or do you want me to leave it on? Nah, there's nothing's going to happen now until we get to Endstone, so I'll bring you back in when we get to close to Endstone. We've got 45 miles, 30 minutes to run. Bye bye. Okay, well we've had a bit of an interesting sort of flight down here. Nothing really happened externally, but internally I had a problem with the radio, or the headset, or whatever. But
Golf Charlie Yankee at the pumps, backtracking north, grass 262, take flight parking.
Golf Charlie Yankee, Roger, got no reported traffic on 26 grass.
Golf Charlie Yankee.
and it was creating a whole lot of interference coming through, but just by powering the radio off and then rebooting it, it seems to have gone. So I'm not too sure what that was, but I went through all the usual, checking all the connections and all the rest of it. Well, as you can hear, we're not too far away from Endstone. We're at 8 miles to the north. 8 miles to the northwest. It's been raining. It's only a bit of light stuff. But Endstone's about 500, 600 feet above the deck anyway, so it's quite funny when we come down to like Popham. This is sort of the area that we have to get through when the weather's a bit dodgy everywhere else. It's really pants down here. Endstone Radio, good afternoon, Golf Charlie, Charlie Tango Romeo, inbound.
Charlie Tango Romeo, hello Endstone Radio. We're using 26 right hand circuit, QSE 1006.
1006, runway 26 right hand, and we're about 6 miles to the northwest at 1200 feet on 1006, Golf Tango Romeo.
Tango Romeo, roger.
Aircraft ahead, 1 o'clock, 3.5 miles, 1,300 feet above, passing right to left. Warning, aircraft ahead, 1 o'clock, 2 miles, 1,200 feet above, passing right to left. Aircraft ahead, 12 o'clock, 3.5 miles, 300 feet above, reciprocal heading. Aircraft ahead, 1 o'clock, 0.5 miles, 1,200 feet above, reciprocal heading. Warning, aircraft ahead, 12 o'clock, 2.5 miles, 100 feet above, reciprocal heading. Warning, aircraft ahead, 1 o'clock, 1 mile, same level, reciprocal heading. Danger, aircraft ahead, 1 o'clock, 1 mile, 100 feet above, reciprocal heading.
And Enstone Radio, Golf Tango Romeo, have you got anybody in the circuit, over?
Aircraft.
Tango Romeo, I've got no reported traffic in the circuit for either 26 hard or 26 northern grass.
That's copied, okay. Just see a bit of traffic just to the north here.
Golf Whiskey Uniform, on from the north, will remain on frequency and call on rejoin.
Golf Whiskey Uniform, roger. Break, Golf Tango Romeo, that would have been possibly the traffic. It's a white gyrocopter that's just departed, but it's not in the circuit.
As you know, it was a motor glider and the gyrocopter out in sight, so no problem. We'll join downwind right hand for 26 hard, if that's okay.
Tango Romeo, roger.
Endstone Radio, Golf Sierra Hotel, returning from the northwest, about 5 miles out for an overhead join.
Golf Sierra Hotel, roger, it's 26 right hand circuit, QSE 1006, and I've got one aircraft inbound to join downwind.
QSE 1006, right on 26. Golf Sierra Hotel.
And Enstone Radio, Golf Tango Romeo is downwind right hand on the microlight circuit, 600 feet, 1006.
Tango Romeo, roger.
Okay, well as you can hear, we're on the way to Endstone on the microlight circuit.
Endstone Radio, Golf Bravo, Hotel Julian November, 4 miles to the north for rejoin.
Golf Bravo Hotel, Juliet November, Enstone Radio, runway 26, right hand circuit, QSE 1006. One microlight joining and one microlight reported downwind for 26 hard.
1006, 26 right hand, and with a cloud base, like to join downwind right hand for 26. That's okay for the hard.
Golf Juliet November, got one aircraft who will be joining in the overhead. Yep, carry on.
Okay, I'll join downwind and go to November.
November, roger.
And Golf Tango Romeo is final, runway 26 hard.
270, 5 knots.
Radio, Student Golf Sierra Hotel, joining the overhead at 1300 feet, checking.
Golf Sierra Hotel, roger. Golf Tango Romeo, are you familiar with Endstone?
When I PPR, they said backtrack to Bravo and park over there.
That's correct, when ready, 180 backtrack, and then it's left exit at Bravo.
Oh, roger, we are backtracking and just about to exit at Bravo, Golf Tango Romeo.
Golf Sierra Hotel, descending bedside.
Hotel, roger. Tango Romeo, the parking is there on the right hand side. If you can just park as close as you can to Golf Whiskey Uniform.
Okay, sir, will do.
Just be aware there's some wing covers there on the right hand side.
Roger, yes. Do you want me to go to the left? Or into this bay here?
It's your choice. You can either park immediately on your right or go to the end bay, whichever's convenient for you.
propeller to the end bay out of the way, all those wing covers. I'll take it over, thank you. Okay, well we're here. Hey, turn everything on.
40, Carl, crosswind 26.
And there we go. So, I hope you enjoyed it.